Hey guys, just wanted to clip this into the video here. After listening back to the audio of the recording, I did do an audio check, but sometimes I can get a little bit excited, a little bit loud, and I didn't notice that the mic volume must have gotten increased during my move, and I guess the audio peaks when I get a little bit loud, get a little bit peaky, like they blow out a little bit. So I have since adjusted that, so you might hear a little bit of some peaking in the audio in this video here when I get a little bit excited, when I get a little bit loud, and I have just reduced that now, so it should be fixed for the next video. So just letting you guys know that now, but yeah. Just trying to make adjustments for the return of park spotlights and my new setup, making sure everything works right. And that was definitely a mistake or error that I didn't catch during my audio tests. So apologies if it's a little peaky, and let's continue with the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the return of Park Spotlight. And there's no way to make a return other than a gigantic end-to-end mega park with over a dozen roller coasters. Every single coaster under the sun that you can imagine is going to be crammed into this astonishing mega park. I figured we kind of go back to our roots. We're going to go without reshade, classic Planet Coaster graphics, and we're using a park that was submitted back in 2021. Still tons and tons of amazing submissions sitting in the inbox that date back to 2021, if you can believe it or not. This is from one of our well-known builders in the community, Happy Camper, who has won many contests and has since become an absolute legend in this community. And it's fun to do a little bit of a throwback to see one of their earlier creations. Now for this, I wanted to get things started again, as we're nearly running out of content. As many of you know, I was in the middle of a move for the last month. My office is now up and running, so this here is my test run to see if we're all set up to do park spotlights. Assuming everything goes well in this here today park spotlight, I am going to definitely return with at least 1 or 2 park spotlights a week, mix in some coaster spotlights, and I'm going to just give you guys a general update on what's happening with the plans of the channel later on. And I did post a little bit in the community post section if you want to know more about that. So speaking more on this creator's creation here they say, "Hey Johnny, I've been watching your channel since Planet Coaster came out because I have also loved roller coasters. I finally got my first PC in the beginning of 2021, and I instantly started working on this park. So yes, this is my first park creation, and I'd love your feedback on what I can improve on. I tried to create this park as realistic park as I could to parks I've been to. I named the park Utah's Adventure because I'm currently in the United States Air Force, and I'm stationed here in Utah, and I love it here and wanted to spread some light into this great state. I hope you and the viewers love the park, and I hope you too see some future creations." Wow. This certainly is a time travel machine episode, as this is in fact Happy Camper's very first creation. Now I'm might be mistaken. There's a Happy Camper with a K and a Happy Camper with a C. So I might be mistaking 2 of the creators, but I recognize the name Happy Camper. While we might be a little bit late to the party with this here creation, we're now showing it off here today as a return to Park Spotlight and a throwback to this creator as well. So absolutely fantastic introduction here. Why don't we get right on into things? Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It wouldn't be the return of Park Spotlight without a massive parking lot. Now, this actually is one of the best parking lots I have ever seen because they have made a car ride going through the parking lot. So it looks like there's people driving around looking for parking, and I've never ever seen that before. I also noticed there was something else passing through here, if I'm not mistaken, when I was getting the B-roll. It might have just been the cars. I could have sworn I saw another ride. Yeah, it was this, the trolleys, the tour buses. That's really cool as well. So great touches here, having the interactive parking lot. I actually much prefer this parking lot because there's something to it. There's a reason to look at it. I mean, heck, we could even select one of these cars and, oh, hello, and go for a drive through the parking lot. Maybe jump up ahead a little bit. Look at this. We're literally driving through the parking lot. This is so cool. I gotta tell you guys, it is fantastic to be back into Planet Coaster here. As we just got through a Park Beyond campaign playthrough on the channel. Between Park Beyond taking up most of the channel and then Project Planko being the in-between content, Project Planko was very heavily Planet Coaster, but it wasn't Spotlights. It was Spotlights, but it's our community project, and there are a lack of coasters at this moment. Now, I will give them an update on that project later on, but just to point out and add to that factor is that you guys can expect to see plenty Project Planko coasters and I guess park spotlights coming up, as we are currently working on getting all the main attractions in. So Project Planko will definitely transform more into a park/coaster spotlight. I wanted to check out this coaster here first because it's in the parking lot. And I just want to... Oh, we should probably be at nighttime for this one. Spooky music. We got fog. All this crazy lighting. It's the Ripper. So yeah, this whole episode is going to be a banger, guys. We're getting right into things back to back to back. I just randomly was looking through my inbox, noticed that this was set to a what I called a 5-star, an impressive creation that I never got around to, and that meant it was packed full of coasters. It gets very difficult trying to pick what spotlights to do. There's so many creations sitting in the inbox, and it's very difficult to try to just pick one. And this one was the pick because of how many coasters and it has. We could just go one after the other, and that should make for a very entertaining return to park spotlights. So here we are at the Ripper. It's a Typhoon Infinite. There's a look at all the results if you want to see them. 1,200 meters, 170 seconds in duration. Good googly moogly, 8 inversions on this. We're gonna go into the right car, and I think we'll do track view for this. Let's get it. Oh, look at that, it has maintenance. We're certainly kicking things off with a bang. Grim Reaper there. And there's the look at all the parking lot. Everybody left their lights on before they went into the park. I think there's a way to actually turn the lights off on each of the individual cars. I guess this creator forgot to do that. That's okay. And in terms of feedback, I'm not going to give any because this park was made 2 years ago. So this person has obviously gotten better by then, and the park is already looking fantastic, so I don't think there's any need to provide feedback. If it's the Happy Camper I'm thinking of, they have already climbed the ranks. All right, let's check out this coaster. Okay, as I mentioned, this is a bit of a warm-up round for me. The audio seemed a little bit quiet for me on that coaster. I'll probably end up turning it up in post for you guys. There was no music on the coaster, only in the queue. But what I wanted to say, and so I'm trying to work all this out and make sure that when I edit the video, if there's any mistakes or adjustments I need to make for the next park spotlight, is to increase the quality of each of the videos going forward for everybody. And I also feel like my camera speed is also too low, so something else I have to adjust here. This feels a little bit better. I don't think this is too fast, is it? You guys can let me know down in the comments. We'll make adjustments for the next video. But what I didn't do is go to the actual park entrance, so why don't we hop over to there? I wanted to say, my brain is all over the place. I feel like Peter Pan in Never Never Land. It's like I've been away from Never Never Land for so long, I've forgotten how to fly, and I need the Lost Boys, which is in this metaphor, your guys' parks, to restore my ability to fly again. I feel like I'm learning how to crawl, walk, and run all over again, because not only have I not done a park in a very long time or ridden coasters in a long time, or it feels like a long time for someone that does this almost on a daily to weekly basis, it's the content that I have done has all been Project Planko or Park Beyond. So the coasters that we have ridden over the last month or so have been Park Beyond coasters that are very jittery and have issues with them, a little bit of jank here and there. They have not been Planet Coaster coasters, and what few coasters we have ridden have been for the theme park that we're building, and something that I'm very familiar with. So coming to a park like this here today is so refreshing because it's stuff I've never seen before. It's a return to amazing coaster creations, and I am not well practiced in my commentary. It's like I'm warming all the gears back up. We're just starting the engines up all over again, and hopefully I'll be all warmed up after this and we can start cranking out park spotlights. As I was going through the inbox, I'll make, man, there are so many hundreds of parks that you guys still have not seen, that I still have not seen, and I don't know how I'm ever going to get to them all. It's been 7 years coming up this November of covering Planet Coaster, and here I find myself not even making a dent in what has been submitted. But we've definitely tried to prioritize all the best stuff, so you guys have seen the best of the best over the years. But there's always these hidden gems. Put in this test mode so I could sit seat view, because the guests were just sitting there stuck for some reason. So I didn't actually check the name of this. This is the Pandemonium. There's a look at the stats if you want to see them, and then we'll get to the top of the lift here. And wow, look at all these Giga and Strata coasters throughout this park. It is going to be quite the episode. Wowee. All right, very cool. One thing I am noticing is that the coaster volumes don't seem to be as loud as they should be, but let's see here. Sound effects. Yeah, I think we need to turn these up a bit. Maybe 70? Let's apply that. I like to hear the sounds of the coaster ripping and tearing. I think I had it turned down because generally it overpowers the music, and it probably turned it down because of the park project that we're working on. I went down an exit. That's okay. I didn't go up an entrance, or up an exit. Oh boy. Utah Train Depot. This is probably for the train ride. This is going to be a very long episode, so I think we could probably skip on the transport rides for this one. Oh, look at this. We got some Midway games. Love to see it, you guys. Look at these. I think Chant made these, if I'm not mistaken. I remember her making something like that. This is so adorable. Wow. The details. Only possible in Planet Coaster. Oh, wow. And if anyone is wondering, so I'm assuming we have new subscribers from Park Beyond. We did a whole series on it, and while that game lived and died overnight, it feels... I feel like Park Beyond will make a resurgence when the sharing comes out. You'll be able to share your parks and your creations with one another, and... oh, this ride must have broke down. So they're coming down the queue. We're going to go up the queue, and it should be fixed by the time we get there. We were just put in test mode. But, yeah, you'll be able to share your coaster and park creations online in Park Beyond. That feature's just not in the game yet. And while Park Beyond can be extremely frustrating to build with the current bugs that it has, I think people will struggle through it, and I will definitely want to check out their parks. Whether it's a Planet Coaster park or a Park Beyond park, there's still amazing coasters and details to be seen, and I think that will still be very entertaining. While I personally am a little bit frustrated with Park Beyond in its current state, I will probably play it again in the future when it all gets ironed out, and I most definitely want to do park spotlights on that game. So we're just taking a little bit of a break on that. I think this park is so old that my settings don't have it, so I actually have to wait for them to fix it before I can close it down. I don't know what's up with that, or maybe I'm still in Park Beyond mode and I've forgotten, like I said, how to do anything in Planet Coaster. All right, we're learning how to fly again here today. It's an experience. I should be warmed up after a park or two. So we got a big Giga Coaster here. Why don't we take a look at it? It is the Guardian. We have a track length of 1,700 meters, 5 airtime counts, 4 seconds of airtime, lots of G-forces on this one, and max speeds of 73 miles per hour. We're gonna skip to the top of the lift here because it is such a massive lift after all. Here we go. Look at the park view from here. Absolutely amazing. Let's go. Isn't that amazing, riding a coaster like this to only see a coaster that goes 3 times the height? Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Wow. Love the sign of the Zeus here. That is amazing. Wow. And Poseidon. Was Poseidon what we just rode? I don't think so. No. That was the Guardian, of course. Ooh. Well, let's go do Poseidon first, and then Zeus. Got a little bit of a Greek mythology theme going on here. While the park is a bit spread out, and it may lack a little bit of details that we've come to enjoy in the kind of like modern and next generation theme parks throughout the channel, I do think there is a good amount of theming. It's pretty cool. All right, Poseidon, dive coaster. Let's go. What's the biggest drop on this? 52 meters? That's okay. Not bad. It is loading up. Flailing should be less of an issue on a dive coaster. They're all holding onto the harnesses and stuff. Very cool. A beautiful observatory right in the center of the park too. We might have to check that out. Hello. It is so nice to see these guests again. How are you guys doing? It's been a hot minute. We've been hanging out with Park Beyond guests for a while. And here we go to the top of the lift. We're zooming through it, guys. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We got dozens of coasters to ride. So let's get to it. Very cool. Definitely would have liked to see a couple extra splashdowns in there, being Poseidon and all. Maybe like a under the sea adventure where we kind of are a riptide, a tidal wave that shoots out of the water. Something like that. This is stuff that I've come to see in more 2023 style creations. So this is something that was made 2 years ago. Look at this. So there is some theme maker toolkit. We got a Zeus there. Look at the eyes on this thing. My God. Wow. Ride photos. Love to see it. And we go up the queue here. I mean, I'm seeing lots of lights. I'm assuming this is a really well nighttime park, but I do enjoy seeing these at daytime. We could probably ride a couple of them at night here. This one's also stuck. We're going to throw it into test mode. It is Zeus. There's like the stat 2,000 meters on this with an 80-meter drop at the top of that lift. Good googly moogly. This is quite insane. Oh, yeah, it's fun to be back, guys. Maybe what I needed was a nice Planet Coaster break so I can come to appreciate it yet again. I mean, this has got to be Park Spotlight 600 and something. We've done thousands of coasters, 7 years of covering this stuff. You need a little bit of a break once in a while. So, you know, Park Beyond was actually a good thing. We can appreciate what we have compared to what just came out. And Planet Coaster's a classic. I don't think it'll ever grow old. And I don't know if it'll ever get replaced unless it's a Planet Coaster 2. So, fingers crossed that that's still a thing. But here we go. We're at the top of the lift now. Pretty much eye level with the tippity top of those mountains over there. Oh my goodness. Let's go. 80-meter drop. Also really enjoying in this park how these coasters lean more on the realistic side, as I've been so inundated with Park Beyond and this crazy zany, you know, shooting yourself out of cannons and all that. And then also Project Planko, the project that we're working on, we're not exactly aiming for realism, but just, you know, pure over-the-top theming. And these coasters feel, I wouldn't say unthemed, but more realistic. In the theming budget that you would see from like a Six Flags or something, I would say. So just being able to sit back, relax, and enjoy a coaster for being a coaster, and not for its extreme features and all these crazy doodads and over-the-top theming. It's just nice to appreciate a nice coaster track and go on a little bit of a journey and look at the amount of detail gone into the background of this park is quite nice from the tops of the coasters. So 1,400 meters in length. We got a train ride. We're on the wrong train. I definitely want to do a pop-up view. A chase could work, but at the back. I like this. We can get whipped around, back of the train. Got some chilling Western music here. Some birds flying up above. Not much to see here, people. Your face is in my face. All right, let's go. All right, there it is. I love me a good mine train ride. Oh, I heard some Planet Bluegrass going off back here. Oh, it's been a minute since I've heard that song. What is that playing off of? Is that just a boarding station? Oh, maybe a shop. It's coming from here, I think. I want to speak more to park spotlights, but we're just like one coaster after another that I don't have time to finish my thoughts or get my thoughts into words. But yes, for those of you guys, I know a lot of people on this channel are subscribed just for Park Spotlights. I mean, Park Spotlights tend to do a lot better than other content on this channel. It has been a main staple to this channel throughout the years, and everybody enjoys a good Park Spotlight. Now, what I want to say is I encourage you guys to come check out Project Planko, because we're going into the more ride and park features. A lot of it has, up until now, been more about blueprints, getting all the plots in and building the park and assembling the park. But now we're moving into the main attraction, and it's actually becoming more of a park as we go further and further and further. So you'll see more Project Planko, but we have to spread them out. We were doing 2 a week up until this point, and I think I have to drop them to about 1 a week until we're caught up. But those 1 a weeks will be more impactful, most likely featuring amazing handcrafted coasters in a section of a themed area of the park. So I definitely encourage you guys to come check out Project Planko if you haven't been following it so far, because the community is building one of the best parks I have ever seen in Planet Coaster, and I'm so proud of this project so far. Okay, so we have the Iron Horse RMC, 1,000 meters in length, 72 miles per hour at the max speeds, 50-meter drop on this bad boy here, and only 2 inversions, but some pretty heavy banking turns. So, whoa! Honestly, I feel like I should do another view like this. Let's do this. And speaking more to park spotlights while we go up this lift, I didn't expect to do this one for this Saturday, but I wanted to do a practice run, work out the kinks, make sure everything's good. But going forward, I definitely want to aim to doing 1 park spotlight a week at minimum. You can hopefully expect to see park spotlights every single Saturday from here on out. The focus has definitely been Park Beyond and Project Planko, but now I want to try to mix in both as Project Planko slows down. So definitely the return of park spotlights, guys, so tune in at least every Saturday. Here we go. Wow. Coming in hot. That was fast and furious. My goodness gracious. Definitely whipping around those corners there. Love it. That I love it when RMCs are a little bit more on the extreme side like that. Oh, look at this. Firehouse Food Court. Giving me some Hot Dog Squad vibes. Oh, okay, I saw this in the B-roll. I'm actually really excited about this. I don't have my blueprints in my game anymore. It's on my workshop. However, I think it was back in like 2017, I made Chief Beef Raceway. And what it is a dueling or a racing dueling coaster for Chief Beef. I did it like exactly the way this is done. Basically, mine was a Mobius though. This is actually dueling. I made them duel before dueling was implemented in the game. So I had to split it off with a transfer track and then time it. But it's the same concept as this, but done a little differently. Okay, we're gonna go into seat view. Here we go. Yeah, this is very similar and reminiscent to the one I made. I'm actually really stoked to see this because this is like very nostalgic for me. One of the first coasters I ever made in Planet Coaster was the Chief Beef Racing the Raceway. Very, very cool. Although my load up time was a little faster than this. Oh, here we go. Beep, beep. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. They're going to sleep here. Okay, off we go! A somewhat similar layout to the one I had made, and I'm gonna assume here that Happy Camper said that they've been watching my show, like in their introduction. What did they say? Been watching your channel since Planet Coaster came out. So I'm assuming they would have seen my Chief Beef Raceway. Now, I can speak to this a little bit because I have made one of these to this style. It is actually quite difficult to make them competitive. You can see this one's ahead, and the only way to make this one pass it is to do a left-hand turn from here. So now on this turn, it's going to try to pass on the inside, right? But if the turn isn't long enough, well, yeah, what you did here was very good because now they're like basically neck and neck. But then one will get further and further away if you don't bank them out far enough. So now this one pulls ahead and we do a little bit slighter, a bigger turn here. It was pretty competitive, but I would have liked to see compete a little bit more. We're coming in with quite a lot of speed. You trimmed that all there, but very reminiscent to something I had created in the early days of Planet Coaster. So I very much like that, but it is actually quite tricky to make a good dueling coaster. Sometimes what you have to do is actually do a crisscross so that one stays on the outside, and in order to make it back and forth and competitive, if you're gonna have two right-hand turns one after another. So the forest obviously takes us back to, oh no, I thought it was gonna take us to that ride. It sort of does. Let's go at nighttime here and go through the creepy forest. A big black building, staff building, some toilets. I'm assuming it will take us to that ride that we saw in the parking lot at the top of the video. Is this for the observation tower? What is this? Oh, little flat ride, the Skizzer. Like one person on it. She looks so sad. I'm wondering if there's another coaster hidden back here other than the one in the parking lot. Ooh, the Dark Forest. Maybe a dark ride, perhaps? Very atmospheric queue where people gotta go pee. Well, you're in the forest, let her rip. No one will notice. Spooky Grove. Let's go. Up into the castle here. Oh, is that a second dive? Oh, no, it's probably a winged launch coaster if I'm gonna guess based off what I've seen here. Not this one, but the one behind it. That one passes over the entranceway. What do we have here? Ah, it's the shuttle coaster, 1,000 meters in length. Does this do the reverse launch, I wonder? No. I know this one's capable of doing that. All right, there's a look at the stats if you guys want to see them. We're gonna do track view for this. Oh, it does reverse launch. Oh, at some point. This one. Aha. All right, let's check it out. All right, fun use of the reverse launch there. Again, talking about the realism on the coasters too. I've noticed on almost every single coaster so far, you've had separate stations for the transfer tracks and all that. Nice little bits of, you know, maintenance areas and all that included. What is this painting? That's got to be a theme maker toolkit thing. Yeah, I like the little reverse launch section. Bit of a spooky dark ride there. I'm assuming from here it takes us to that first coaster that we went on. I'm getting a little bit lost. Ooh, we got like a spooky little midway game here. I don't want to win a spider prize, thank you. I will hard pass on that. Okay, this is, yeah, the Ripper is the first coaster we went on. But I'm wondering how we get to this guy. Let's go back to day. I have no idea how many coasters we've ridden so far, but I feel like we've barely made a dent based off of some of the vista points that we've seen from the other coasters in the back. The Raven. I'm assuming this is the Raven. We're jumping the queue. We're going straight in. Okay, so it is a winged launch. Or, yeah, is it launching up that lift? I think it is. Yeah, that's definitely a launch. Cool. 5 inversions on this, 73 miles per hour, 1,700 meters in length, 48 meters is the biggest drop. Oh, spoiler alert. We're gonna definitely hang off the seat. Maybe the right side? Whichever, I think this one is the one that goes over the queue, or the park entrance. I've lost my coaster. Here we go. And there's the Ripper. Bird's eye view of that there. A little bit of a look at the parking lot and the lake there. It's kind of looking like a bit of the place I just moved to. Right now, I'm living by the Okanagan Lake. All right, here we go. I'm not sure if it's because I haven't been on a winged launch coaster in a very, very long time, a hot minute, as you'd say, but I think that might just be one of my favorite, if not my favorite, coaster in this park so far. I really like the coaster elements. I liked sprawling over the park entrance there with the parking lot. There's a lot of neat elements with going underground there, dipping around, the outward banking, some nice design, and just hanging off the side of the track like that. Some good views. Overall, I enjoyed many, many aspects of that ride. It felt very fluid. All right, so I think we just have to backtrack where we came from. So instead, I'm gonna actually try to pick a new location to us to zip on over to. There's all these coasters in the middle. This has to be this Poseidon coaster that we went on, but there's one kind of jammed in between. Is it a wooden coaster? This must be it. Yeah, let's, we're gonna have to do a little bit of jumping around because we went around like kind of like the outside of the park. Now we gotta like weave back through the inside. So let's go check out a Woody, a good classic wooden coaster. Another ride that I haven't been on since the one Zayfor built for Project Planka would have been the last over a month and a half ago that we featured that. Maybe 2 months for me at the time that I recorded it. Max speeds of 60 miles per hour. Not the biggest track length in comparison to the other coasters, but 1,000 meters in length is still pretty big of a coaster. We're just being spoiled throughout this episode. The Raider is the wooden coaster here. We're definitely gonna have to do a seat view for this guy, and off we go. All right, I love it, I love it, I love it! Nothing like a good wooden coaster. People have been screaming at the devs of Park Beyond to get a wooden coaster in for a future expansion, and that's something I hope they do. There's something just so authentic about the sounds and the feel of a wooden coaster. Now, there's another one in between. The pathing in this park doesn't flow very well on the inside. The outside was good, though. How do we get to that? And there's a... Oh, no, that was the spinning coaster. We did check out the spinning coaster. So I'm assuming if we fly around here... I've already kind of been through this area, so I'm just trying to traverse with a bird's eye view. How do we get in there? Hello? Aha. Here we go. Blue fire. Ooh, I like the sounds of that. Ooh, some funky music. Get some shade as we're coming on up. Ooh, I like this build style. Very nice. Little modern touch there. Using the Planko modern pieces. Holy moly, that is zipping by. Getting some speeds on this. Let's find out exactly how much. 82 miles per hour. Is that the fastest coaster in the park so far? I know that there's some up to almost 80, but did we actually break 80 miles per hour? So, this is a torque launch. Classic. Definitely got to go track view on this bad boy. All right, let's check it out. Oh, absolutely exhilarating. I think that one might also be in my top 3 here. Good googly moogly. That was absolutely exhilarating. Some fast speeds there. Low to the ground. Just hauling ass. Love to see it. Okay, where haven't I been in terms of themed areas? I know we walked all the way around here. Did we go? I'm losing count. It's so much different from the bird's eye view. The Guardian. Then we went over to the Zeus. And then we checked out the Mine Train. The RMC. Did we hit this big boy up? Maxx Force. I do not think we went on the Maxx Force. That's definitely a Giga Coaster. Maxx Force. A little bit of a sci-fi theme. They're all breaking down. Now, I think there's a feature in Planet Coaster where you could set it so that rides don't break down. And this one was sent in 2021, and I guess they were building with that feature turned off, so it got saved into the data. And unfortunately for us, they are breaking down. I'll cut to it when it's ready, but in the meantime, we can look at the stats. 2,000 meters in length, and it is the Giga Invincible coaster. Some airtime on there. Now, 94 miles per hour. That is definitely the fastest coaster in the park thus far. Good googly moogly. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. We're zipping to the very, very tippity top. Whoa, slow it down, a little too fast. Sorry. Here we go. What was this called? The wind force? Maxx Force. I was gonna say you could definitely feel the wind in your face on this one. You could hear it. The max speeds of 92 miles per hour, the whooshing. I think this is also gonna have to go into my top 3. So we definitely know what my top 3 are so far. It was the wing launch coaster, the torque launch coaster, and now the Giga Invincible. Those are my top 3. What are your top 3s and why? Actually, how can I not choose the Chief Beef? Although, you know, my Chief Beef is better. I gotta toot my own horn on that one. This one need a little bit more smoothing, a little bit more length to it, but it did make me feel very honored and nostalgic. So part of me wants to include the Chief Beef in my top 3 out of as a thank you, as a tribute. Most likely made that as a tribute to one of my earliest coasters, but I have to choose my favorite and be unbiased for my personal reasons. How do you get to the log flume? I thought this would have been the queue for the log flume here. I think it's over here. Okay, that's the queue. We'll check out the log flume. Why not? It's been a while since we got into Red. Oh, and this is the one. This is the Planet Bluegrass that I was listening to. Choppers Creek. Forgot to name it. Oh, I accidentally closed it down. I guess we're going without the guests. Whoops. I kind of want the guests on this one. Crap. I'm gonna fix what I've done here and cut to it when it's ready. Okay. The guests are starting to roll in. This is the last log leaves the station. The guests arrive. Oh, well, that gives time to make sure we have a full log here. But yes, we could just relax, enjoy the log flume. Gives us time to reminisce. I don't know how much of the park I've seen. I want to say majority of it by now, right? We've been on a lot of different coasters. But again, I'm coming back to Park Spotlights with a bit of enthusiasm. It feels good to be back. As I mentioned at the top of the video, I just finished moving. So the whole last month of my life has been packing, unpacking, relocating, unpacking, setting things up just the way I like them, going out and acquiring things, little lamps, little bits of furniture. And I'm still not there. The office that I'm recording from right now is finally set up to a point where I'm very happy with it. And everything else in the house is generally set up. I just need to clear out clutter, put things in storage, and continue to add on in terms of decorating and theming my house. So that'll just be an ongoing process. So for the most part, I feel like I'm back. I'm ready to go. And as mentioned earlier, Park Spotlights went on pause for a very long time, mainly because my focus was Project Planko. We're building one of the biggest and craziest parks with voice acting and custom music from the Bitter Elegance, taking the Planet Coaster characters to life. We're basically doing something that's never been done before in the 7 years. Utah, shout out to Utah, as their backstory said that they're stationed from Utah in the Air Force. Very cool. But yes, we are doing something that's never been done in Planet Coaster history. One of the biggest endeavors you could ever undertake, and that consumed a lot of my time. A lot of my time. It was a lot of work, and that was just the first half. And now I passed the park over to Batch, who's been taking care of things in my absence and trying to make sure that things progress while I've been away. And we can move on to phase 2 of the project within the next month, I'm hoping. And because the episodes are going to slow down and the amount of work and involvement on my half for the project can rest a little, gives me time to refocus on other bits of content on the channel, which of course I can move back over to Park Spotlights. And during this whole thing, Park Beyond came out, and I had to do a whole Let's Play on that. So we got to check out as much as I could of Park Beyond. And between Park Beyond and Project Planko, I really couldn't find any time to also squeeze in Park Spotlights. Not to mention, I was in the middle of the process of buying a house, right? Or buying a condo, going to the lawyers, this, and that. So I've been completely inundated, and I'm surprised I squeezed out as much content as I did. To actually put in Park Spotlights or Coaster Spotlights on top of that was physically impossible. And again, I'm actually surprised I got out as much as I did. So with all that being said, I'm super happy to revisit parks. It's super refreshing again. I have a new energy, a new house energy, a new life energy. I'm reinvigorated, and that's the best version of me that you could expect for Park Spotlights. So with all that being said, I think the future of Park Spotlights should be very exciting. The tricky part is figuring out which do I feature. So I would love to come up with a system where you guys can help me pick the parks, but to visually demonstrate to you what's in the box and what we have to pick from is quite hard unless I just give you the list. But something for me to think about going forward is a way for the community to help us determine what's coming up next. But it doesn't really matter. I could just grab anything blindly and we're gonna have a good time. Planet Coaster is such a good game. These creators are so amazing at what they do that you can't really go wrong just throwing a dart at the board and seeing what sticks. And that's probably going to be my approach going forward here. That's what my approach was for today. Literally just looked at something, grabbed it. It's from 2021. Sure, looks like there's a lot of coasters. A parking lot. I know you guys love your parking lots for some reason. And there we have it. Turned out to be an absolutely awesome park to return back to. As I'm looking around and talking, I believe we've hit all of the coasters. I have no idea how long this recording has been, but it feels like it's close to an hour with editing, maybe a little less. Who knows? But it felt like a hefty park spotlight and a good amount of content for the return. I really, again, love what they did with the parking lot here. Happy camper, having the cars driving around with the little tour trolleys. Super fun. You can tell that this is a little bit like, I don't want to say like this person's, they said it was their very first creation, their very first park. To me, that is impressive. Super impressive. You can see a little bit of that coming through. Like this style is a little bit beginnerish, but still really well done. It's not like the grandiose, crazy, epic park entrances that we're used to seeing from the 2023 parks, but rather, you know, a little bit on the newer side. But the contradiction to that is the fact that there is some really crazy theming, as we saw from the Zeus sign here. There's some ThemeMaker Toolkit added in with like custom assets downloaded from the ThemeMaker Toolkit workshop. But then you have other areas like these flat rides. It's like very Park Beyond. Plop it down, throw in a queue, throw in an exit. But after seeing so much Park Beyond, I'm like fine with this now. It's just with Planet Coaster, you've become almost jaded, where you're like, I expect every single queue to be immense theming and absolutely immersive. And then you forget that sometimes the simple ones are just as awesome. They don't actually need to be that. And I think Park Beyond was almost like a necessary reset for me, that when you see that the limitations of that game and the simplicity and the lacking of theming and how things have been so difficult with the tools and the bugs and fighting against the game, you come to appreciate the small things in Planet Coaster that much more. And while some of the paths don't have theming everywhere, I think we've become a little bit spoiled over the years from those, you know, mega builder masters and legends who put clutter and detail everywhere throughout the park, that you come to expect that time and time again. And if you don't see that, you feel like it's lacking in quality or polish, when that's definitely not true. And again, to iterate that point there that I'm trying to make is that I've come back with a new sense of appreciation, and Park Beyond was almost a good necessary reset for me to appreciate the small things in Planet Coaster yet again. And now I'm looking at things almost with a fresh set of eyes, if that makes sense. And I really like that. So I'm invigorated. I'm happy to have that reset button. And I think past Johnny, who's just finished looking at the Pixel West parks and the, you know, all these crazy mega parks with extreme amount of details, probably would have said, look at this and said, maybe looking for something with a little bit more theming, looking for something that pushes the boundaries a little bit more, something with more innovation. I don't think that's necessary. That's what I'm trying to say, is now that I'm looking at this here today, why was this not featured in 2021? There's probably other things that were hitting different, you know, levels, pushing the boundaries, always pushing the boundaries. And I think we've gotten most of those out of the way over the years. And now I'm just kind of looking back and starting from humble beginnings again. some parks that have enough theming, that have great layouts, that have bits of realism, and just a ton of fun stuff for us to explore. And this park hit all of those for me. Couldn't be happier with a park like this to return to. I thought every aspect of it was amazing. And while there are little bits of pathing here and there and little bits of theming that could be pushed a little bit further, I really don't think it's necessary. I thought this was a really good, enjoyable experience, especially considering at the top of this video, the creator mentioned it was their very first park ever. So happy camper. Let's leave you on this note. You have left me a happy camper, and I hope you guys felt that way as well. Now, final thoughts. I usually do this when we do a mega park, my favorite coasters and why. Really like the Giga Coaster going 92 miles an hour. You could feel and hear the wind in your face. You could feel the airtime counts coming through here at 92 miles an hour over these bunny hills. I think that's going to take my number one spot. Number two, I'm probably going to give it to the winged launch coaster going over the gate here, the park entrance. I guess that's not the park entrance. It's a second park entrance. This is actually it over here. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it was still awesome. And my third one's going to the Torque launch coaster. Very low to the ground, very fast speeds. Fun little circuit there on that coaster. So what was your favorite coasters and why? Fire down in the comments below. Also, because it's been so long since I did a park spotlight, how did things go? Let me know, guys. Is there a format? Did I change something? Did I forget something? Is the audio sound good? Are you happy with this episode? Is there any adjustments you think I need to make going forward? And anything that you would like to see me add or elaborate on in the future for these Park Spotlight episodes? I'd love all that feedback down below so I could take that and make sure that we're on the right track for the next one and the next one and the next one and continue to improve the content as we go forward. But again, ending on that note, I definitely want to promise to you guys park spotlights every Saturday from here. I'm gonna try my best to squeeze one in either earlier in the week or again add one in maybe a smaller park, a mini park for like Sunday or something, because Project Planko is slowing down a little bit, and before we ramp that up, I want to try to get out as much coasters and parks to you guys and just keep running with that momentum. So the park spotlight's back. That's what I want to end on, and this is the start of many, many more to come. So there it is, everybody. That was Utah Adventure created by Happy Camper. Let them know what you thought of their park down in the comments below. Go check out the Steam link. Go let them know what you thought of their park on their Steam page so they can get some direct comments on their Steam. And that's going to do it for me in today's episode of Park Spotlight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Welcome back. It's good to be back, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.